May I come in, sir?
Yes, please come.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Sir.
Abhinav, have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Abhinav is from Hisar, Haryana.
Yes, sir.
Sociology is your optional.
Sir.
Electronics and Communication Engineering.
Sir.
And you are presently in Danix.
Sir.
Have you joined Danix?
Yes, sir.
You are fond of analyzing performance of Bollywood movies.
Sir.
Okay, so tell me, Abhinav, since you have mentioned analyzing performance of Bollywood movies, 1947 till today, can you give a snapshot of the movies, different movies which were made at different points of time and how they were resulting out of the social thinking, social milieu and social values at that point of time? Can you take us through the journey of Indian movies in Bollywood?
Sir. Sir, I would like to divide the journey of Indian cinema and movies since 1947 till now in three phases, sir. First would be, sir, from 1947 to 1990s or late 1990s. Second would be 1990s to 2008 or 2010. And, sir, the third phase would be 2011-12 onwards till now. Sir, in the first phase, what we saw was that, sir, the Bollywood movies were firstly depicting the socio-economic and cultural reality. They were more inspired by local folklores, local traditions. They had references to Ramayana, Mahabharata and the local legends. And in a way, movies like Mother India and others, they were much in sync with the political and economic realities. And so this continued till we had introduction of movies which started following the Western themes, Western genre, and introduction of Yash Raj and other producers and directors who started bringing in romance, thrillers, actions, bringing the action sequences that Western movies or Hollywood movies had. And so this was the phase, post-liberalization also to some extent, where the purchasing power of Indian moviegoers improved, the outreach to cinema improved, and we had certain kind of movies based on youth, based on individual specific rather than the society specific or social centered movies that we had prior to this. And sir, in the third phase, which we can say from 2010 onwards, we have an assortment of movies which are individual specific also and which have certain references to society also. Sir, in this phase, we are seeing some return to parallel cinema or movies which are bringing in greater social messages, such as Padman movie or the recent Chhatriwali movie, and it seems to be a synthesis of both the phases, the 1947 to 1990 phase and the later phase. And this is the period, sir, where the box office collections have increased tremendously.
In between, you mentioned, so I would like to add one more period. What do you think about that? You see, when we achieved freedom,
yes, sir,
there was a lot of hope,
yes, sir,
that we've become an independent country,
yes,
and
sir,
everything will be hunky-dory, everything will be fine. And therefore, the kind of movies which you said, the reality and hope. But then later on, it resulted into a lot of black marketing, all negative things, which started taking place, shortages of things, and so therefore there was an anger in the minds of the people.
yes, sir,
And they said that what have we achieved this freedom for? And then films like Diwar,
yes, sir, yes, sir,
where an angry young man, who is resisting, and he says that something needs to be done about it. So that period you have omitted in between. And then you can, the things which you talked about. And then ultimately the nostalgia period, they said ki it is that at least we were better. So they started going back to Mahabharata and Ramayana days,
yes,
because said freedom has not really achieved us anything. So would you not like to include that periods also?
yes, sir. Sir, in fact, there's a trivia that the independence speech of during the independence speech of 1975, more people were watching Diwar movie rather than listening to the speech of the Honorable Prime Minister.
Yes.
So this is in sync with what you said, that there was resentment and that portrayal of Bollywood actors as angry young men or people who are fighting against the system, against the socio-economic realities, that was taking momentum.
Okay. Just one question I would like to ask you. Where is this Suraj Kund fair held, and when was it started, and when it is going to be held in the near future?
Sir, sir, the Suraj Kund fair is being held in Faridabad district of Haryana. Sorry, sir, I'm not aware when it started.
Okay.
And sir, currently it is ongoing. The fair is currently ongoing,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. So just one with the Rakhi Gadi. What does it tell us about the Indus Valley civilization?
Sir, the excavations are currently going on. After the excavation completely happens, it would be the largest excavated site overtaking Mohenjo-daro. And sir, it means the mound of ash, and it has ruins of Indus Valley civilization. Sir, culturally there have been artifacts and artifacts which have been found there. There have also been potteries, blue grain pottery which has been found at Rakhi Gadi. Also, sir, the remains of a man and a woman in graveyard have been found, and it has been found from the initial excavations that the length of the skeleton was around 6 feet tall for the women, which is amongst the tallest skeletons which have been found in Rakhi Gadi. And also, sir, it tells about the agricultural practices. There have been in the potteries, wheat and barley have been found. So,
Okay. Thank you.
Sociology is your
Sir.
optional subject.
sir,
Which are your favorite topics?
sir, firstly, sociological thinkers
Okay.
that we study.
Wonderful.
Uh,
What else?
Then, sir, theories of social change
Okay.
and theories of Marx, sir.
Very well. So, family today is functionally joint, but structurally nuclear.
Yes, sir.
What is your comment on this?
Sir, this comment given by a very eminent sociologist, M.N. Srinivas, holds true now, sir. Functionally, sir, though due to employment and education opportunities, various new households have come up and individuals have started moving away from their traditional families. They've come to cities, metro cities, tier 1 cities. So in that way, the joint family, which consisted of one couple, their father, mother, and the another generation, that has now broken up. There's nuclear households which have come up. But sir, during festivals, as we see Diwali, Chhath Puja, other festivals, people go back to their native places to celebrate them. Also, sir, secondly, there is dependency, which is seen in the nuclear family, that whenever they have surplus money, they send money to their family back home, or whenever they need money, they get money from their family back home. So, sir, these are some of the instances where the functional jointness is seen and structural nuclearity is seen when they're living away, having a different household from their parents and the previous generation.
Excellent. Thank you. And you must have heard two terms, little tradition and great tradition,
Yes, sir.
and also universalization and
Yes,
parochialization.
sir.
Can you briefly tell me about them?
So these were given by the studies of Milton Singer and Malcolm Marriott. So little tradition refers to the tradition, culture, folklores, other activities which are done by individuals at a local level, and the scale is not that much limited. So it can be in a particular village or a cluster of villages, etc. So sir, worshipping Gobardhan, worshipping cow dung was one such little tradition which was followed by certain villagers when the study was carried out. Great tradition refers to the universalized culture, tradition, folklores which are celebrated at a larger level and a larger scale. For instance, celebrating Holi, Diwali, Chhath, these happen at a larger scale.
Will you include Chhath in that category?
Yes,
What
sir.
Chhath has become
It is
converted from little tradition to great tradition now?
Sir, there is a movement towards universalization. Universalization refers to the process.
Yeah,
through
yeah.
which-
Yeah.
Sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
There was one very famous Bollywood celebrity.
Sir.
When somebody had asked him a question, he said, I have no social responsibility. If you people don't want to see my film, don't see my film. A lot of murders have been committed based on certain stories of films.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that such films which encourage this kind of activity should be curtailed?
Sir, though cinema is a part of the freedom of speech and expression, and it is an artistic representation of the society, but if there are certain portrayal depiction through cinema which may lead to dangers for the unity integrity of the society, or may create such pressures on the society which give rise to, say, toxic masculinity, or which create discords between different sections of the society, then there should be reasonable restrictions to it. And sir, we have Central Board for Film Certification, which is a statutory body, and it, after reviewing the film, it imposes certain cuts or reasonable restrictions on the cinematic expression.
Okay. See, a human being is 9 out of 10, or let me put it this way, 99 out of 100 men
Sir.
will fall to the temptation of money,
Sir,
right? Can you frame 3 questions for yourself
sir.
that when you're on that crossroad of ethical dilemma, and I'm talking of money,
Yes, sir.
that you ask those questions to yourself, and then possibly those questions will guide you in the right direction?
Sir. So the first question would be, what would be the utility of the excess or the surplus money that I would get after committing such act of which is not an act of integrity. Second would be that, sir, the utility that I have, would this be beneficial only for an individual, or would this have certain social impact also? And thirdly, sir, the third question would be to ask Gandhiji's talisman, that would it, if in any way, would it be beneficial to the person who is standing on the last line, or would it be beneficial to the poorest of the poor? If not, sir, if questions to all of these are in the negative, then the temptation should be resisted.
Okay, when it relates to personal, maybe these questions can be a little more directed. That will help. Killing a fetus, abortion, when the fetus has some problem, some medical problem, is it a violation of human rights, or is it murder without a doctor's advice?
Sir, if there is no consent, if there is no examination by a registered medical practitioner or a medical board, then taking such act, and sir, if the fetus has some abnormality or defects which could lead to dangers for the mother and the fetus, then such abortion should be done, sir, but there should be procedural safeguards in the form of taking the advice of the doctor or the medical board. However, sir, if the fetus doesn't have any such abnormality or defects and there is no harm to the mother, then, sir, it may amount to murder if in that case abortion is done without the consent of a medical practitioner.
All right, what is ozone layer, and how did Montreal climate protocol actually control things as far as ozone layer is concerned, or ozone hole?
Sir, answering the first question, ozone layer is a layer which is found in the upper troposphere and lower layers of the stratosphere around between 40 to 50 kilometers above the ground level. And sir, answering the second question with respect to Montreal Protocol, sir, in 1987 this protocol was entered into, which aimed to control the emissions of chlorofluorocarbons, which were leading to increasing the ozone layer or depleting the ozone in the upper layers of troposphere and stratosphere. Now, sir, various countries, and it is one of the protocols where around 187 countries have consented to it, and there have been emission cuts on chlorofluorocarbons which have taken, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Abhinav, continuing on this line, the boundary in a sea water,
Sir.
is how much for the nation?
Sir, it is 200 nautical miles.
200?
Sorry, sir, the territorial waters are till 12 kilometers, and 200 nautical miles would be the limit for international waters or international sea.
Now, what is this nautical mile versus mile? Why we use that?
Sir, though I am not aware of the exact difference between the two, but a nautical mile is used when the calculations for measuring distance are done over sea.
Sorry?
Sir, when the distance is measured over water or sea, then the term nautical miles is used, but I am not aware of the actual...
Also in the air?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware about it. I will study.
Okay, now if you go vertically,
Sir.
Where does the nation's boundary end?
Sorry, sir, I will read about it. Sir, sorry, sir, I'll read about it.
You know the reason why I'm asking is
Yes,
the
sir.
incident yesterday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What was that?
So there was a balloon which drifted from China to the.
Was it drifted or guided?
Sir, as per the report of the Chinese spokesperson, the balloon drifted from China to the airspace of US, and as per the US reports, it said that that was a deliberate event and that was a surveillance balloon, whereas China says that it was a weather balloon to measure the meteorological processes. So it drifted over there, and then, sir, it was shot down by the United States of America.
You know what height it was?
Sorry, sir?
At what height the balloon was?
Sorry, sir, I'll read about it.
I think about 20 kilometers. Okay. Now you are a sociologist. Tell me, how did we develop so many tribes? What is the genesis of tribals?
Sir, so tribes resulted from a certain group of people who had certain degree of self-sufficiency, and they could sustain themselves from the natural produce and from the produce that they could get in the nearby area, and their expansion was limited, and they developed a local folklore or culture, and these all factors contributed to the genesis of certain tribes in different parts of India. So though there is not a universal definition of tribe that is being agreed upon.
But when did it develop? Was there any major economic activity that separated them from the mainstream?
Sir, tribes have existed since 5th, 6th century BC and earlier also. Sir, it is primarily referred that the discovery of iron led to the clearing of jungles around the Nalanda civilization, and the kingdom of Mauryas came up, and then they took up economic production, they indulged in trade, and a settled economy took place. So there were certain tribes then also, but sir, this economic integration and integration with other nations and an advanced mode of production led to a settled civilization. Those tribes also existed simultaneously.
So that's a industrial development, not agriculture development.
Sir, industrial also, agriculture also, and related social developments also.
Okay, my final question, you know this Adani episode.
Sir,
You think it's a macroeconomic event or a microeconomic event?
sir, it is a microeconomic event. It is one of the companies which was listed on the share markets in India as well as abroad, and the cancellation of the FPO or the crashing down of shares by 28%. This happens given the volatility in the market and the demand and supply of equity shares.
How it becomes microeconomic event?
Sir, it has not impacted the fundamental parameters of the Indian economy or the global economy to classify it as a macroeconomic event. Had it impacted, say, the GDP, the inflow of FIIs or FPIs in the Indian equity markets to a large extent, or if it would have any impact on the inflation or GDP growth or investment.
But that is the impact. The event itself has not really affected any economic activity, has it? It's only the stock market variability.
Yes, sir, it is the stock market variability. And sir, if there are allegations that there was money laundering, there was accounting fraud, there was round tripping of money, if those allegations after investigation by SEBI.
See, the allegations apart, but whether it is a micro or macroeconomic event, I would say that it is neither. Impact may be on both,
Sir.
but the event itself is neither.
Sir.
But that's my opinion.
Sir.
Thank you.
Abhinav,
Ma'am.
continuing on this, why government servants are not allowed to invest in stocks?
Ma'am, because that would create a crisis of conscience, and that may lead to government servants investing their money in stock markets, and they may lose on their savings. Also, secondly, ma'am, this might lead to certain tendencies in the government servants to indulge in corrupt practices in order to get surplus money and then invest that in the stock markets. So, ma'am, there are restrictions in government servants. Though they can invest in the stock markets, they cannot trade in the stock markets.
Okay. Have you heard of this term Bidenomics?
Ma'am, I've heard about it, but I'm not very much clear about it.
Okay. Can you tell me what works for Haryana's favor that it gets lots of investment?
First, the geographical advantage the state has, it is close to the national capital territory. And also, ma'am, because of the infrastructural developments that have happened, particularly in the NCR districts. For instance, Gurgaon has the second largest office stock in the country after Bangalore. So that is one reason. Second, ma'am, the per capita income of Haryana is amongst the top 6 states in the country. That ensures that there is
Despite that, there is high unemployment and you need reservation for localites in Haryana.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're asking MNCs to make reservation for localites. Why this disparity?
Ma'am, there is a demand for skills which has come because of investments and because of MNCs coming, but the supply is not met from the locals. So the labor force participation of the locals is very less. Second, ma'am, at a national level also, ma'am, the skilling rate of Indians is very less. PLFS says that only 4.3% of Indians are skilled. So, ma'am, the skill similar is the rate for Haryana also. The skill ratio is very less. So, because of this, the demand is being met from other citizens, and there were needs for reservation.
Abhinav, Jats are a majority community in Haryana. Despite that, they're asking for reservation. What is your opinion on this?
Ma'am, the Honorable NCB, National Commission for Backward Classes, has turned down the demand for reservation of JATs, and I'm also in favor of turning down the reservation for demands for JATs. Rather than that, ma'am, there should be impetus towards capability building, improving the social outcomes with respect to education, health, and skilling, and creating other opportunities through Startup India scheme or PM Kaushal Vikas Yojana, as have been launched in the budget.
Abhinav, can you tell me how many MPs who are females that we have from Haryana?
Ma'am, as of now, we do not have any member of parliament.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how many MLAs who are females do we have in the Vidhan Sabha?
I don't have a clear data for that.
Do you know any political female leaders from Haryana?
Yes, ma'am.
Name a few.
Ma'am, in the present context, there is Kumari Shelja from the Congress Party, Srimati Kiran Chaudhary from the Congress Party. Ma'am, there was Srimati Kavita Jain, who was a cabinet minister from the BJP party. Ma'am, there was Savitri Jindal, also from the Congress Party. And these are some of the leaders that
Okay, my last question to you, Abhinav, is out of curiosity that you have left so many jobs.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it in IAS that you have to leave so many other jobs where you could have done good?
Ma'am, I've been fortunate enough to do what I wanted to do in life. Ma'am, after graduation, I wanted to do an MBA because my internship shaped my experiences in such a way that I wanted to do an MBA. Ma'am, during my MBA, I wanted to work in 2 sectors, investment banking and management consulting. And ma'am, I was fortunate enough to work in both of those sectors. And after working there, I realized that the work profile of civil services would offer me many more things which were not there in those jobs. So, ma'am, I decided to appear for civil services, and those things are, ma'am, firstly, civil services would allow me to work across different sectors at different levels from.
But you've already qualified state service, then DANIX. You could have joined one of those jobs. Why only IAS?
Ma'am, I've joined DANIX, and ma'am, if I get into IAS or other services, the scale and scope of work would enhance.
Definitely increase.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Abhinav, your mock interview is over
Thank
now.
you, sir.
You can just go outside and wait for a while. We'll call you for the feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Yes, come, Abhinav.
Thank you, sir.
Have a seat, Abhinav.
Thank you, sir.
Abhinav, when is your interview fixed now?
It's the 9th of March.
This is your, which attempt is it?
It's the second attempt.
And the first call to the interview?
No, sir, the second call. DANIX was through.
That was also through. How many marks did you get?
Sir, 193.
193.
Yes,
Very good marks.
Yes.
Okay. Abhinav, how many mocks have you attended so far?
Sir, around 5.
5.
Yes, sir.
How would you rate your performance in this mock?
Sir, though I would not be able to rate my performance, but I could see certain gaps which I need to work upon. Sir, there were some knowledge gaps that I had with respect to nautical miles or the height of the balloon, and sir, certain knowledge gaps regarding Haryana also. So there were some content gaps which I'll work upon, sir.
Okay, so Abhinav, first of all, let me tell you some of the attributes that you possess.
Sir.
Mental alertness was very good.
Sir.
Balance of judgment was there.
Yes, sir.
Clarity of thought was there. Knowledge and depth of knowledge both were equally good. Very rational and very logical answers you were giving. At no point of time did we find that you were trying to bluff the board. Very honest in your approach. Very smooth delivery. Yes, choice of words excellent. Structuring of sentence also very good. Your eye contact, your scanning, your modulation, everything was perfect. Your dress sense and your demeanor also was superb. Overall, I would say it was a sterling performance that you have given today.
Sure.
Coming to specific areas, knowledge about, I don't have to tell you much about it because as it is, you have prepared well and you have a lot of time at your disposal. Some certain general things I will only talk about. When we talk about Haryana, so talk about all the positives and negatives about Haryana.
Sure.
So Haryana, of course, one question was asked regarding why it is an ideal destination for industry. So the question which logically arises is that if you have to sell Haryana, like Uttar Pradesh is trying to, have its investment summit. So therefore, what exactly are the good things that you will tell about Haryana? So the good things that you must remember is that number one, of course, locational advantage, proximity to the airport. Power position is excellent. The road infrastructure is outstanding. Underground water is very good. Agriculture is superb. Labor is also easily available. There is a no labor unrest is there. Yes. So all these things go in favor of Haryana. And of course, very good industrial climate, and the industrial policy is also welcoming always the investors. This is one thing. So you will tell about this. Then the negative things you have to know, of course, Khap Panchayats and the skewed ratio and the status of women, patriarchal society. These are the negative things. One more thing which I would like to mention to you is that sometimes the questions are asked about the southern part of Haryana.
Yes, sir.
Southern part of Haryana is always regarded as having suffered, and most of the political, the chief ministers have been from Hisar, Bhiwani or Sarsa. Or Rohtak.
Rohtak, yes, sir.
So, but barring probably Bhagwan Dayal Sharma and Rao Birendra Singh, who were from the southern part of Haryana, but otherwise it has been said that southern part of Haryana suffers from many things, and SYL was regarded as a kind of a panacea for bringing water to this. So, southern part of Haryana, what is the position? You can learn about it. The dispute with Punjab, SYL, and position of Chandigarh.
Sure.
Okay, so you will take the stand there. Yes. Chandigarh belongs to Haryana also, and it has to be maintained as a union territory, but creating a new capital at this stage would be putting too much of strain on the public exchequer. Yes, and there is no such need. Everything is working out so well. It should neither be transferred to Punjab or to Haryana. Sure. Second thing is, if at all they say that what is your choice about it, then remember there were 3 locations in Haryana which were regarded as creating a new capital. One was Panchkula, the other was Jind, which is the central part, and Karnal and Kurukshetra, in between them. Then things about Babas of Haryana, why there is so much of affinity for the people to go to the Babas, even though they are so advanced, so in every respect, why do they go and throng these people? So then you have to explain what are the essential tensions and materialism and lot of pressures on the people and so on. That is there. And then they may ask you about agriculture. Since you belong to Hisar, so Hisar Agriculture University is the most important. Yeah. So what are some of the high yielding varieties? What are the things which it has brought about? And also government livestock farm is there again. So all the things about Hisar particularly. And Hisar, Sarsa is in that sand dune belt in a way. So also understand some of the things like the architect of Haryana who had created the the irrigation, lift irrigation schemes and sprinkler irrigation, and even after getting away from Punjab, it has really progressed very high. So that is an example of a state getting separated from a bigger state and then able to make it so well.
Yes, sir.
And then reservation of jobs, that of course is issue, sub judice, whether you will be in favor or in against. So this is about Haryana and Hisar. Coming to sociology, well, not many questions can be asked about joint family system, divorce rates, the concept of dinks which is coming, and the parents, they are not being looked after,
Yes,
and there is a spur to the old age homes which are coming up. Is it the right thing or not? Why have you taken sociology? How sociology will be helpful to you in public administration or in the public governance? So this kind of question may be asked. Then electronics communication engineering, not many questions were asked, but then it can invite lot many questions. 5G mobile, and what is the difference between GSM and CDMA, and also electronics. When we talk about then communication engineering particularly, that what is GPS,
Yes.
what is remote sensing, and how can agriculture production be measured, the forest area can be measured through
Yes,
GPS and remote sensing, how the agriculture production in a district can be measured through satellite mapping, and also the communication technology, what difference has it made to the life of the people all over the country. Google, how does it calculate the distance between two points, how the traffic congestion is indicated, all these things, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, then blockchain technology. Okay. And electronics, of course, what is the difference between electronics and electrical equipments, and who discovered photoelectric effect, and so on. So then Danix. So Danix, what exactly, you are a probationer, you are under training?
Yes, sir. I'm in SDM under training, sir.
You are
with
SDM under training.
South Delhi district, sir.
Okay, all right. So typical problems about Delhi.
Yes,
You are posted in Delhi only, naturally it's a Danix service.
Sir, I've declared Delhi also as my home state this
Your
time.
home state also. Acha, Haryana is not your home state.
Yes, sir, because I want to claim Haryana as an outsider.
Outsider,
So that is why I declared Delhi.
Okay, yeah, that's also a good strategy. So then Delhi, the problems of Delhi, you must understand about the problem of garbage, the problem of traffic congestion, the problem of potable water being supplied by Haryana, the dispute with Punjab, stubble burning, and the LG and the popular government differences. Should the subjects be transferred to the popular government, that is of police and the urban states and so on, or no? So that is the problem of Delhi, which you should also concentrate on. And then of course your Bollywood movies, I would suggest that probably you could increase the number of phases from 3 to 4 or 5, where if you just make a study, you will really find that the films have been made with that particular social thinking on the subject at that time. Then of course Rakhi Ghadi and Indus Valley civilization, these things about Haryana. General things I would just mention here is that a good reading about Constitution of India would do you a lot of good, and every article go through that, preamble included. Also the economic survey of India would be a very good requirement for you to understand what is the state of economy in this country, particularly after the successive jerks which we received on account of demonetization and GST and then COVID-19. And Atmanirbhar Bharat, how it is going to help in reviving our economy. So Startup India, Stand Up India, those schemes, please read through them also. And then coming to the privatization and PPP model is again something which is the in thing. The foreign policy of India is again a topic which is quite relevant today, because India has made its a place in the world over. It is the Prime Minister is regarded as one of the biggest, tallest leaders right now. And then India and its neighbors, and India and its relation with big countries also. Why economy of China is far ahead of us, in terms of manufacturing goods, economy of scale, and so on. And then the institutions of United Nations, please study them. So UNICEF, WHO, and ILO, what effects they are having on the influence the public policies in the various countries.
Sir.
Indices, the indices position of India in those indices, and also SDG and MDG. Last thing I would like to mention to you, which you need to prepare, is because Haryana is regarded as a very well administered state.
Yes, sir.
Particularly the revenue system is one of the strongest revenue system.
sir.
It derives itself from Punjab, and the original revenue system is from the British times.
Yes,
So it is one of the very scientific revenue systems. What computerization has now been done, so understand that also, how the computerization of land records has been done. It is an ideal example after Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka.
Yes,
And also understand the good governance principle, role of a collector, what is district administration, what is electoral law, criminal procedure code, and one more thing, which is the public policies and programs which the government of the today has after 2014 brought about for empowerment and protection of women, children, senior citizens, backward classes, scheduled tribes.
Sure.
So this is the rough roadmap which I have tried to put before you.
Sir.
As I said that you are outstanding, so you seem to have well studied almost all aspects. But then complacency is not the thing which has to be done, and we would definitely like you to become a civil servant. The number of marks which you obtained last time was very good, but this time we hope that it will definitely cross 200 also.
Sir.
If you have any questions to ask, you can ask us.
Yes, sir. Sir, the way I speak is very monotonous. So I do not have those modulations and ups and downs, and I don't know if I try, would I be able to achieve that? And this looks very rehearsed, like I've learned the answer, I've practiced the answer, and then I'm speaking it out. So I mean, should I try to change this, or is this
I would
fine?
not suggest. Changing your style
Yes, sir.
probably may unnecessarily add a lot of artificiality to you, and then you may find it uncomfortable. So let us stick to that, because there everything comes out of it on its own, and I don't think there is any need to do that. There is no such impression created in the minds of the panelists that it is a well rehearsed or something like that. The important thing is that the content was very good, and that makes sense, and your articulation and communication skills are absolutely fine. Maybe a slight amount of modulation would probably help in making it more impressive, but I don't think there is a need, since everything is working out so fine. Why unnecessarily disturb it, from there? And the flow was very good, and everything, particularly this was very smooth flow.
Sure.
And that smoothness can get affected in case you try purposely to modulate your voice. Okay.
Sir, another thing, sir, my hobby last time was following Bollywood box office collections. Sir, during my actual interview, one of the board members said that all your hobbies are money oriented. This was one hobby. The other hobby was, sir, commercial due diligence. So that is why I changed this to analyzing box office performance. Now the problem I am facing now is that, sir, interviewers think that I look at the cinematic aspects also, just like, sir, you asked. I only used to look at the money. But now people think that I look at the cinematic aspect. So, like, sir, you asked this question. So the way I was thinking was that I'll answer the question, and then, sir, I'll say that, sir, I have a humble submission. I look at box office collections. So, sir, is this a fine way?
Whenever you talk about Bollywood, automatically the social side to it automatically gets into that. So you really, when you talk about Bollywood movies, its effect on society probably is the most important aspect, because it has an effect on the society.
Yes,
so they would be expecting what exactly is how society and Bollywood, they have affected each other. So I think you prepare on that.
Yes, sir, I'll prepare.
That would be better.
For that.
But I really don't want to say anything regarding your money, the comment which was made. Yes. I find that in volleyball, you had a volleyball.
No, sir.
Sir, what was the hobby last time?
Sir, this thing only, Bollywood box office collections.
Okay.
So collections. Was,
yeah, so collection, that give an indication towards whether the film ran or not, well or not.
Yes, sir.
I think social impact would be much better aspect, because every has got a social message also, and vice versa.
Or you can put that as an analysis of a box office success.
That is what, sir, I have put, like, currently I have changed collections to performance to make it a neutral term.
Performance or even social impact would have been a very good thing.
Yes, sir.
But nevertheless, it is absolutely fine. But two things which you mentioned in your, they are not really hobbies.
Yes, sir. Their extracurricular interests.
Yeah, that is your CFA level 1 certification,
and due
that is not a
diligence.
hobby.
Yes, sir.
That parts, it comes in the probably achievements and qualifications that will be there.
Sir, it was a part of interest,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
section talked about hobbies, extracurricular
Correct.
activities, and interests. So I put
Yes.
it there.
Yeah, that's it.
And sir, one more thing. Sir, eye contact, should I keep it majorly with the person who's asking the
Yes.
question, or should I?
Yes, eye contact has to be with the person who is asking the question, scanning the entire board occasionally from left to right to left quickly.
Sir.
But you have to ultimately maintain the gaze with the person who is asking the question. But yes, you have to scan. If you don't scan, the other will feel disinterested, that you are not paying attention to them at all. And one thing I don't have to tell you, one should never get into any argument with any, and try to prioritize your answers. Always try to give examples in support of your answer. That's a general rule which is normally given.
Sir. And sir, last thing, sir, in questions like Bollywood and other questions where one is required to take a stand, should a stand be taken, or should I have a clear opinion, or should there be a balanced answer to? Like ma'am asked, do you support reservation for Jats? So there, because there was data from National Commission for Backward Caste, so I said that I do not.
That was the best answer.
And
because
like sir asked about that movies are depicting some other things which may create communal discord or other. So there, sir, I tried to balance.
Absolutely correct. The answers are absolutely right. Balancing is fine. And particularly when there is a data available or there is a ruling which has come, if you base it on that, there will be no supplementary question. The thing will be over. It will be settled.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So our best wishes to you for your success. Ultimately, that the journey from Danix to Indian Administrative Service, we'd like to see you there.
Sir, thank you. Sir.
All the best to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
An academy. Let's crack it.